Hello everybody, my name is Will from You Know Nothing and welcome to my Game of Thrones Season 8 predictions video. So as of recording this video, it is Sunday and usually Game of Thrones is on Sunday and it's just not on and there's just a hole in my life that feels like it's missing. So I was like, you know what, let's try and predict what's going to be happening in the next season of Game of Thrones and possibly even the books as well. So between now and when the season actually comes out, we've got a huge wait. So I'm sure lots of things will become clearer further along we get to the season, and I'll probably do another one of these videos, hopefully, in like a year or so, when we're closer to the TV show actually coming out. And it might be a little bit different to what I'm predicting now. But before we start, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the video, show your support, and let's get into the predictions. So one of the first characters I'm going to talk about is Jaime Lannister. Now Jaime's probably one of my favourite characters in the books and the TV show, and he's done something that I really wanted him to do for ages, which was leave Cersei so far. So at the end of season 7, he is on his own, as we see on the show. He might not be on his own, he might team up with Bronn a little bit later, but at the moment he's on his own. He's going north to help the fight and to help possibly strategize. I think he was the commander of war for the Lannisters in season 7 to kind of show what he's capable of. I know he got completely wrecked by Daenerys and her dragons, but he could be a good addition to helping the fight for the North and the White Walkers, and it'll help with his whole redemption arc as a character. So at the beginning he was a character that everybody hated, and now he's become more a likeable character, and I hated him at the beginning, and now he's one of my favourite characters. A redemption arc, and I have a feeling that he could sacrifice himself to save another big character. Now, as he's heading north, he'll probably end up at Winterfell at some point, and he'll have a reunion with Bran, and we know that the last time those two met was when Jaime pushed Bran out of a tower and caused him, well, he caused him to start his journey to become the Three-Eyed Raven in the first place. So how's that going to go? I reckon Jaime will probably feel really, really awkward about it, and Bran will just sit there being autistic, and he will act as if it didn't even happen because he's now the Three-Eyed Raven and doesn't really identify himself as Bran. So he won't hate Jaime or anything. I think he'll just let it slide over his head as if it was just a piece in a story that he's read in a book. So with Jaime and Cersei, I have a feeling that in the books, Jaime is going to end up killing Cersei, and he's going to fulfill the prophecy that Cersei was given when she was a young child. But it could be done differently in the TV show, as we know. I don't think he'll be the one that ends up killing Cersei in the TV show. It seems unlikely, especially as there's only 6 episodes left that he's going to go north and then back to King's Landing. Although they have recently been teleporting to a lot of different locations. I have a feeling if Cersei's going to die, it will be because of the child that she's currently got in her stomach and she'll die in childbirth. Or something that I saw someone put a comment of, saying it would be really ironic if Cersei actually gives birth to a dwarf like Tyrion, because she's hated Tyrion her whole life, and then that dwarf kills her. I guess we'll find out. Alright, so the next character we're going to talk about is Jon Snow, or should we call him Aegon Targaryen now? Nah, Jon Snow's well better.
I'm in love with the shape of Jon Snow, and now my bed sheets smell like Jon Snow.
So I'm assuming that he's going to learn about his heritage with Rhaegar and Lyanna when he gets back to Winterfell at some point and meets up with Sam and Bran. So I have a feeling that Sam is going to help Bran with all of his green seer abilities, because Bran basically, he has the ability to know everything, but because he's had so much information in such little time, he doesn't really know where to go first, in the fact that he didn't know that Rhaegar and Lyanna were actually married, and Sam had to help him out with that. So Sam's probably going to help him out with a couple of other stuff, being the clever little boy that he is. And Jon's going to learn about his true parents, and that if him and Daenerys have a baby, he said previously in the show that he didn't want to have sex with one of the prostitutes because he didn't want to bring another bastard in the world, because it's not a nice life. So if Daenerys does have a baby with Jon, as we've seen from the boat stuff, will that mean that he ends up going on to marry Daenerys so that it's not a bastard, he's not brought a bastard into the world? Or will he end up bringing a bastard into the world, one of the things that he didn't want to do? So I think if a baby is had, he will probably want to try and not have it as a bastard, but learning that he's a Targaryen, he's just had sex with his auntie, I think that's going to kind of create a rift between Daenerys and Jon. Also Daenerys finding out that she's not the heir to the throne, when that's all she's known her entire life, that's all her purpose has been since she was 10 years old. that she's known that she's going to get the Iron Throne, and that's going to be that. And then all of a sudden her nephew comes along and is like, actually, I've got a greater claim to the throne, but I don't think Jon Snow wants the throne. And when they do find out together, I have a feeling that they're probably not going to tell everyone that Jon is actually a Targaryen. I reckon a couple of people will know, but they won't announce it, so Daenerys will still be the whole leader of the two of them. But I also have a sneaky feeling that Daenerys won't make it to the end of the show anyway. I think that she is going to be on my death list for season 8 as it's the last season. Probably right at the end because she is a huge character. Will she die in childbirth? Will she even give birth to a child? Can she even have a child? These are so many questions that we need to get answered. But I don't think she's going to make it all the way to the end. Alright, so the next character we're going to talk about is Theon. So we've seen Theon go from Theon to Reek, back to Theon, and he kind of had some PTSD when he was on the boat with Euron, and went back to being Reek a bit, and then with his conversation with Jon, saying that you don't have to be a Stark or a Greyjoy, you can be both. It feels like he's going to do something good, and his character arc is going to come back, and he's going to be Theon Greyjoy. So he's going to go and save Yara, and I have a feeling that him and Yara are going to be the downfall of Euron. How that happens, we don't know, because moving on to Euron, he's gone to Essos for a mission for Cersei to get the Golden Company. So if you don't know who the Golden Company are, it's not really explained that well in the show. But basically, they've got huge links with Targaryen bastards when there's like a big Targaryen Blackfire rebellion. If there's enough demand for a video separately on the Golden Company, I could do one just on that. But there's not enough time to go into it on this video. So I've also seen someone somewhere suggest that Daario, as we know, Daenerys left Daario over in Essos. Daario could have spoken to the Golden Company, and because of their ties with the Targaryens, could decide that they're going to form an alliance with the Targaryens instead of the Lannisters. So Euron goes over, and they're like, go away Euron, we're with the Targaryens. And Cersei gets the biggest shock of her life, and her plan goes to poop. But I don't think that is going to happen. It's just a theory. So Arya and Sansa, I'm going to combine these two together because I don't see that much happening to them, especially Sansa, like now Littlefinger's gone. I don't really see that much purpose for her character, which is why she's also on my death list for season 8. However, Arya, we can still see a reunion with her and Gendry, which is pretty cool. They've got a huge friendship, and I can possibly see them getting together at some point. And also Arya is an assassin, so she's gonna have to assassinate someone, possibly even using Littlefinger's face. Now she's got Littlefinger's face, but that's only if the news of his death doesn't spread across the country, because otherwise they'd be like, wait, aren't you dead, bro? Surprise, it's Arya. But I can see her assassinating more people, meeting up with Gendry, also meeting up with Jon having an Arya reunion, but that's about that for Arya and Sansa, really. So moving on to Tyrion, it's also a bit of a weird one because I can't figure out where his character is going. He used to be one of my favourite characters with the really clever wit that he's got, but it feels like in the past season or so that kind of has gone from the writing, but hopefully that comes back, and I genuinely don't know what is going to happen. In the last scenes that we see with Tyrion, he's outside Daenerys' room whilst Jon and Daenerys are getting it on, and he seems very, very troubled. He seems very, very worried. There's lots of reasons why people think this is, possibly because they think Tyrion's in love with Daenerys, which is a possibility. Possibly that he's just worried that Daenerys and Jon getting together isn't a good idea. It's going to create a massive rift between them, which I think was going to happen. Or possibly that Tyrion is going to betray Daenerys. There's theories that when Tyrion was speaking with Cersei at the Dragon Pit, then it didn't show their conversation after he said, "You're pregnant." There's theories that Tyrion's like, actually, now she's pregnant, I see the loyalty in my family, and I'm going to betray Daenerys, which I don't think it's going to happen, but it could do. They've not shown us a lot of behind-the-scenes conversations. Alright, so moving on to the last main character that I'm going to talk about today is the Night King. Oh, so there's going to be huge battles. It's going to go down this season. I have a feeling the first huge battle, or possibly not huge battle because there's not that many Night's Watch members left there, but the Night King, the Whites, against the Night's Watch, and probably a lot of the free folk there as well. So the Night King is going to just completely obliterate through them. I don't even know if it's going to be a big battle or not. It could just like literally be, boom, they're all gone, and then they turn into Whites, and then they've got loads more Whites in the army. He's going to move as quickly as possible south onto Winterfell, where I think there's going to be a huge battle. And whether he gets past Winterfell or not, I am not sure, because I don't think the Night King will survive past, I don't know, the 4th episode of the season. So there's going to be 6. So I reckon the 4th episode, or possibly even the 5th, there's definitely going to be at least 1 or 2 episodes where it's going to be A Dream of Spring. So the next 2 books that come out are Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring. So Winds of Winter, that's going to be the huge Night King White Walker battle, and then A Dream of Spring is what's going to happen afterwards with all the other characters that we know and love. So he's not going to make it to the end, I don't think, but the big question is, how will the Night King die? I hope they give his character some purpose and kind of explain why he's coming south, because otherwise the death of him's not that much of a big payoff. Hope they explain a little bit of his backstory as well. But that's it for some of the predictions of the main characters. I'm just going to go over a couple of side ones now. So Clegane Bowl, get hyped. They teased that massively in the last episode, so hopefully we'll see that at some point. I reckon there's going to be another Rhaegar flashback, probably to his death, where he's fighting Robert Baratheon at the Trident. Hopefully that is a flashback we see. As we've seen, it's been building up and up and up. I hope we also see Ghost in the next season. We didn't see him in all of season 7, and he's one of my favourite animal characters. My hope is that he teams up with Nymeria and just completely wrecks some White Walkers. And we also have Jon possibly riding Rhaegal, which should be a huge moment for the show. But there we go, everybody. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen. However crazy the ideas are in your brain, let me know. So subscribe to the channel if you're new. I really, really would appreciate it. And I'll see you all on my next video. Adios, dudes.